5 years, do you think life has improved for you or worsened for you?
It's worsened a lot. Basically, all the talk from the coalition government about basically giving us tax cuts. They're giving tax cuts to millionaires. Tax cuts are nothing when you're on low pay. You need the tax credits that are in your pocket to be able to spend locally and in the local environment.
Andy, often when people talk about those on benefits, there's an implication, isn't there, that they're scroungers, that they don't want to work. And I can see, Bernadette, you're rolling your eyes, and many people like this. And Bernadette's an example of someone who works, your husband works as well, but needs this assistance to get by, to bring up children.
Yeah.
It's a hard square to circle, so to speak.
Yeah, look, I don't think that language around scroungers and strivers is particularly helpful in any way. Bernadette Sutton left him as a perfect example of somebody who's on benefits, needs a certain safety net, or needs help to get people through and to aspire, and clearly that's what your son's doing. That's great. However, I think the stunning stat that you brought up there, that nearly half the population is on a benefit of some sort, indicates that our welfare system, frankly, has got out of control. What was originally designed as a safety net has become almost this all-encompassing blanket, and I think what we need to do, therefore, is sort of take away some of those benefits, but also reward those who get into work with lower taxes. You said the tax cut's no good, but of course, if you do pay tax on your income higher up, if the first £10,000 or so you don't pay income tax on, that's got to be great for encouraging people into work.
It's about incentivisation, isn't it, Bernadette? And what could incentivise people when often, if you look at the statistics and look at the data, sometimes it is better off, or families are better off, not working.
No, work has always paid. In a previous Labour government and in Wales, work has always paid. What's happening now is with 0 hours contracts, agency employment, seasonal employment, where I live in the north of Wales, all that safety net of permanent work has been taken away. And basically what we need is exactly what Ed Miliband's doing. He's going to put an end to those exploitive 0 hours contracts and make sure that people who are employed for 3 months or more are then on a permanent contract, and that is what we need.
Would you be able to survive without the benefits that you receive?
Well, basically, I also get carers allowance, and we've been told that with the coalition, if the Tory government or a coalition get in next month in the general election, that 40% of carers are going to be taken off carers allowance. Disability living allowance and personal independence payment are going to be taxed. That is no good at all. That is attacking the most vulnerable in society, and that really cannot happen.
And it's frightening, Andy, isn't it? For those carers that, who face those cuts, what's the answer?
Well, of course, we don't know that those cuts will necessarily come. What this is a result of is the Conservatives saying there's 12 billion of welfare cuts and not being remotely clear what those are. Now, if they come out and are honest about what those are, then perhaps we can have a proper debate. But I think what's really interesting here, and I agree with Bernadette on the 0 hours contract, welfare reform over the past 5 years, I'm not here to defend the coalition by any stretch of the imagination, they've got an awful lot to do. There are more jobs in the economy than there ever been before. There's more people employed, and I said the benefit system is a safety net. It is just a safety net. It's not a ladder. It's not the way out of poverty. The answer to that is work, and that has to be really the focus of welfare reform.
Don't you think that the answer is also the living wage? And Ed Miliband has promised to bring in a living wage, and the living wage will help thousands and thousands of families out of poverty. And this is really, really important. We've had the minimum wage, and employers all wailed and moaned about the minimum wage, but now a living wage is needed, and it's needed as soon as possible.
My concern there, and I agree with you, it would be great if we could all get paid more, but we hear David Cameron say it's time for businesses to give workers a pay rise at the same time as he taxes employers for employing people through national insurance. It all tends to come back to this tax versus benefit system, and I think the focus is often too far gone on sort of keeping ourselves quite coddled by the state and waiting for the state to give us rules and regulations, rather than giving us the freedom, businesses the freedom, people the freedom to make their own lives, make their own firms.
Andy, Bernadette, it's good talking to you. It's a debate that we could continue, and we probably will continue it off camera, but from the baby sofa, let's get back to the big sofa. Charlie and Sally.
Naga, thanks very much. We'll see you again shortly.
Let's see time now, 7:46. You're watching Breakfast from BBC News. A reminder of our main stories this morning. Parts of the southeast of England face high levels of air pollution today. That's the image from Brighton this morning. Central London also expected to be affected, as health officials warn that even healthy people should reduce physical exertion.
And the Australian cricketer and commentator known as the voice of cricket, Richie Benaud, has died at the age of 84.
So, curiously, alongside those problems with air pollution, the weather is predicted to be very lovely in many places today, with a lot of sunshine. I think we can see some of the sunrises this morning. There's a helpful hand pointing us in the right direction.
Yeah.
Behind the gentleman, pointy finger man, we can see a beautiful sunrise over the River Thames in southwest London this morning. And
I guarantee the next shot will have no pointy hand. There it is. It's too high up, you see.
there's someone dangling on the outside of the building.
That's it, folks.
That is the shot outside our